everyone. Welcome to the Wedding Honey Podcast, the podcast where we chat about weddings with a little bit of sweetness, because we all know weddings can be stressful. We're here to lighten that up. Follow along if you'd like to hear journeys about wedding photography, wedding photographers, and of course, the wedding day. We're also going to be interviewing wedding specialists, and we can't wait for you to follow along. The Wedding Honey Podcast is brought to you by Wedding Biz Kit, a photography business course created by Sounds Like Yellow Photography. After 4 years in university, knowing I wanted to start my own wedding photography business, I had no clue how to write a proper invoice or even professionally run my business. I dug deep and curated a brand that is creative just as much as it is professional. Now, 8 years in of running my own successful business, I am proud to say I have the course for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wedding Honey Podcast. We have a very fun and exciting guest today. She's someone that I've known for a long time. And Forever. And is the only person I trust with my hair.
Cute.
Her/hair. And she also did my wedding hair and was also in my wedding party because duh. So please welcome Steff Smith. Her company is Styles by Steff, and she also works out of, wait, can I say that? Did we say not to say that? Okay.
No, we can say that.
And she also works out of Kiora Aveda Salon in Burlington, Ontario.
Yay!
What's up, Steff?
Hey!
Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks. Oh,
thanks. So it's been a long time coming. We've been saying, yeah, let's do a podcast. But now look at us. We did a wedding yesterday together, and now we're here. Awake to the world. It wasn't a long day, though, yesterday.
No, it wasn't.
We were just saying it was actually a really beautiful lunch wedding, which is such a cool idea. But, Steff, you got home at what time?
Oh, 9:45 a.m.
That's incredible. Like, even getting home at 5 p.m. As a wedding photographer is, like...
unheard of.
Yeah. So, it was a wild day, but we love that.
Oh, yeah.
We felt so productive.
Yeah, all day. I was like, oh my God.
I've already done so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I love that. And I love working with people that I, of course, really trust, because I know that hey, it's going to look amazing, as did the makeup, which JC did a fantastic job.
So good. It was so pretty.
We'll be chatting with her soon, so stay tuned. Not soon like today, but in another
podcast.
Yes. So, yeah, I thought it'd be cool to have you on and chat about wedding hairstyles and just the life of a wedding hairstylist, and also just a hairstylist, because they're very similar.
Yes.
And yeah, so tell us about that. What is it like to be a wedding hairstylist?
Well, it's very fun.
Yes.
Always exciting. Always a party.
Always
which is fun.
Party. Yeah, you're kind of like that first line of the day. Like, they wake up and then you basically show up. Yeah. So you're like...
it's always like a quiet moment at the very beginning.
It is, for sure, because it's either so early.
Yes.
Or just like...
or it's just relaxed. Yeah. And then you could just feel the energy just getting a little bit more.
That's so cool.
You could feel the buzzing in the air, you know?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a cool, like, situation for you to be in.
Yeah.
To watch the day kind of unfold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really
one
cool.
After another, when they start getting ready, you're like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one.
Because then they just get, like, a little bit more, like, jazzed about,
yeah.
That's so nice.
It's so
So
cute.
tell us about your journey. Like, how did you start? How did you get into hair on its own? And how long have you been doing hair? Yeah.
So when I went to university, I actually went to be a wedding planner. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I wanted to get into weddings from the beginning.
Oh.
So I was in hospitality.
Awesome.
And I had run out of money on my meal plan card and needed a way to come up with some
Fantastic.
money. So I learned how to cut hair on YouTube.
Amazing.
And got people to come into my room, and I would cut their
like
hair.
your residence room.
Yeah, I would cut their hair with Shoppers Drug Mart scissors, and then I would go
Is this
down.
like breaking your heart hearing that you did this?
No, this is hilarious.
Okay,
like,
good.
What an entrepreneur! Like thinking of like
so true.
ways to
Yeah, no, I mean
beat the
that.
system.
It's just funny to hear because I know you have like very
Oh.
specific scissors now.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're very
thinking
protective
back,
of them.
Thinking
So,
back to those haircuts.
Yes. But hell yeah, it's entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So I started doing that, and people from other floors knew about me. So then they would just come up and get their haircut.
did they call you something? Were they like, "Oh, you're the hair girl. You're the."
I actually don't know how they would discover it. It was
Really
like
funny.
Floor 11 hair, like who knows? But I used to like go down with them, and then they would pay for my food with their meal plan card,
That's amazing.
which like wasn't real money to us back then because
Totally.
you had like paid for it or your parents had paid for it
Yep.
or whatever. So
Yep.
you're just getting like free haircuts.
yeah.
So
But you also got to get food. You were actually eating before going to class, so that was good.
so it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. It was a nicely run business.
What a little hustler.
I know, so funny. So then after that, I made the decision to switch over to hair school because I
Wow.
knew that wedding planning probably wasn't up my alley anymore, and doing something a little bit more creative and hands-on was definitely my forte. So
Right.
did hair school, and that was about the same time that we kind of reunited.
Reconnected. Yes.
Because you had just gotten back and needed a haircut, and
Yes.
we needed to be roommates in Toronto.
We did. We literally, while Steff is like perfectly cutting my hair, we were like, why don't we live together?
Yeah.
Like it just, I feel like that was so organic.
Yeah, totally.
Like I went home being like, okay, I'm moving in with Steff. This is going to be
this
amazing.
is good. Yeah. So then it was like this weird like serendipity because
Yeah.
I knew that you wanted to be a wedding photographer and
Right.
I knew that I wanted to do wedding hair. So then we both kind of started at the same
Just, like,
time.
Really grew
Yeah.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, like at the time when we were living at the loft, we were doing so many creative
Oh my
photo
gosh.
shoots and like really almost like honing our skills.
Totally.
And
The amount of things we did in that loft.
right?
Like we couldn't have picked a better place to live.
No.
But also like it was so cool to be like, oh yeah, we've got an in-house hairstylist. So
Yeah.
don't even worry about
No
it.
big deal. No big deal.
It was awesome.
No,
Those
it was cool.
creatives were really fun too.
Yeah, no, they were.
Yeah.
But they really helped
Good
us
point.
because I feel like they helped you on a photography side. And for
Yep.
me, it helped me with anything hair related.
Yep. And I think, you know what's so funny thinking back to that? I think during that time, I really started to build like our community.
Totally.
Like think of the people we've met during that time.
Yeah.
And it started because it was like, okay, well, I have an amazing hairstylist. So let's see if we can find like a great makeup artist or a really great fashion designer or whatever it may have been. It just kind of built because you and I were already together. Why not build our team?
Yeah.
So it that community really grew at that point too, which was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It really, really blew up then, which was cool.
So you, after finishing hair school, you knew like, okay, I just want to, you continued to do weddings. Like you,
Yeah, I continued from that day on. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades because I do work cutting and coloring and highlighting and balayage and all those fun things. Whoa, so much. But then I also do weddings. So
Yeah.
it's almost like I get the best of all worlds because
It
I can
is.
do everything.
really and truly you have. Like, I think you've made this really cool, complete circle with like everything you've wanted to do. Like at one point for a while there, you were teaching.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've really done all sides of the business, I think, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And just gives you so much experience in your back pocket that no one can ever take away.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
you know exactly what you want to be doing. Like, okay, I did the teaching thing. You can always go back into that if you want.
It's true. Yeah.
But you've got such a great, like, tool belt of all these amazing...
tool belt.
Yeah.
I do.
It is so cool.
Yeah.
So you are still doing weddings now.
Yeah.
And what draws you into that, like doing the wedding day? Because I think it's different than like someone coming to you and being like, I need to get an updo for my sister's graduation. Like that's cool, but
Yeah.
what draws you into doing like the wedding day hairstyles and hair for?
Well, there's a couple things. So me doing cuts and colors is creative for me.
Yes.
But doing updos is something unique that not a lot of people do. And I feel like it boosts my creativity even more because I do something that doesn't have a lot of structure to it.
True.
So it helps me in that way.
Good point.
Also, professionally, when I am working at a salon, I'm by myself. I don't have anyone else that I'm working with.
Right.
But at a wedding, I have a makeup artist, I have a photographer. So it's nice to be in an environment that I'm working with a team. Which is different.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I never really thought about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
Like for you being like in a salon compared to on a wedding day.
Yeah. And even though everyone's doing something different, it all works together to the same goal.
Right.
And then the whole atmosphere of a wedding itself, I mean, that draws you in automatically. There's so much love and happiness and excitement that goes on in that day that why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you find it's any more stressful, or you just kind of take it as adrenaline and you're like,
yeah, I guess it's more adrenaline than anything else. I never really feel stressed out at weddings.
Yeah. You're not really a stressed out person though, also.
No.
Ever. Have I ever seen you stressed?
No.
But like even stressful situation, it's not that for you.
No. I think I thrive in those
types
types of environment.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, get this done.
Yep, we only have that amount of time?
Yep.
Cool.
That's
no
fine.
problem. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the best. Another reason why I love working with you on the day, because you keep that energy to like a really good spot. Like you get excited, you're like, oh, that looks beautiful. You're not like, okay, let's hurry it up now, which is awesome.
And they, any of the bridal parties rely on you for that.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
If you were a person that was barking orders or stressed out or anything, the whole environment is going to change
drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll feel it. I'll see it in the photos. The makeup person will feel it. Like, there's a lot of things going on.
Gotta keep her cool.
Keep it cool.
Yeah.
That's Stars by Steff. Keeping it cool. I don't know.
That's my new slogan.
So what is a normal wedding morning like? Or afternoon, whenever you tend to do the hair. But what does that kind of look like for you specifically?
So before this even happens, you go over the timing with the bride beforehand. So everything is on a schedule. It's not loosey-goosey.
No.
So everything has its own little time slot. So when you get there, it's always the order of usually like bridesmaids and then, moms and mother-in-laws and then eventually the bride. I usually end up doing the bride hair last, and then she'll go on to makeup, and then I'll do final touches.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's pretty organized.
Yeah. No, it's pretty organized. I always tell them beforehand, for the bridesmaids at least, to have photos ready, because with the bride, I'm able to do a trial beforehand, but with the bridesmaids, I can't.
Yep.
So it's almost like I need to rely on them to have
an idea.
Yeah. Do their homework so that it's easier for me.
Yep. Because again, you've got such a short timeline, and you never know what you're walking into.
No.
Really and truly. Like, I have you ever gotten photos of the bridesmaids beforehand? No, probably not. No. So how would you know what their hair is like, right? No. So sometimes you can go in and there's a girl with the longest hair, and you're like, okay, that's a little bit longer. Hopefully the bride will give you a heads up.
Yes,
like,
I was going to say, sometimes
long hair.
I have, the thick hair or anything, or curly or anything like that, that they tell me ahead of time, just so that I have a nice little heads up. But
smart.
Sometimes
most of the time you just walk in and you're like, here we go. Yeah. So it's funny because speaking with other wedding industry folk, it's great to have Pinterest images, and we're like, cool, that's great. We take it as inspiration, but sometimes it can be a deterrent. Whereas for you, it's welcomed.
Yes,
yeah,
totally.
You like.
And everyone always apologizes for having photos of hair. I'm like, no, bring it on.
That. I need you to have that.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to see exactly what they're envisioning.
Totally.
And then that way you guys can work out what would look best. Again, for them.
Yes. And it's all, I mean, at this point, I think with social media and people understanding a little bit more about their self-image, that they're able to figure out hairstyles for themselves that they know will work.
Yes.
versus bringing in something that you're like, okay, well,
This is a
no.
big one. I love you, but no. And sometimes are they really outrageous or not outrageous? Like those ones that you have to say no to, are they just like maybe not going to work with their dress style or...
No, it's never really about the style unless the bride has specifically told me that they don't want a certain style.
see.
So I've had a bride before say, I don't want any hair down.
Okay.
So if someone brings in a hair down, I mean, I'm sure that the
They'll know.
bride would have told them beforehand, but
Right.
you know, just in case.
You just say,
I'm
we're only doing updos
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. And has anybody ever brought anything like really wild that you're like, that is something I've never done?
Yeah,
I don't know
I mean,
if it should...
I've had people bring in photos. This is more like mothers and mother-in-laws that
Okay.
I've had these situations where
Yeah.
they've brought in photos of something that looks a little bit outdated and maybe won't
Right.
go with the rest of it. And it's just, you know, what they're used to and
Of
what
course.
their updos
Such a good point.
could have been like. So usually I try to kind of veer and give them other ideas that are similar
Yeah,
to
like
it. So
that
they
will
can-
work, but
Yeah,
let's do this way.
this one.
Smart.
Um,
Interesting.
Or I have someone that has, you know, shoulder length hair and wants something that will...
A ton of long layers or like
Yeah.
tons of curl.
Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting. So you sometimes have to be that one to be like, don't know if that's going to work
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
Again, like with the bride, you'd have that trial, which
Yes.
is very helpful.
Totally.
But with the bridesmaids, sometimes you're like, maybe let's try this. So you really do have to think of not only like, okay, I'm working on this hairstyle. You have to think like, okay, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. I
Yep.
also want them to look as great as they can.
Yeah.
And you're the professional. You're going to be the one to say, let's try something a little bit,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
And in a salon environment, you have, say, 45 minutes for a whole consultation for somebody. So you have at least 15 minutes, maybe 10 to 15 minutes of doing a consultation. So finding out what they like, what they don't like, all these things. In a wedding environment, you don't have the luxury
No.
of time in that sense. So you really have to be cutthroat, but in a very nice way
Of
of
course.
saying, yes, let's do something
But-
different.
Yeah. And I think you've really mastered that. Like,
Yeah.
just as someone from an outside kind of watching, I think you've mastered that, like, no but, or not even no but I don't think I've ever heard you even say no. I think I've heard
Yeah.
you say, I really like that. However, let's try something else.
Yeah,
Or
and
like,
it's really rare. Like most
That's
people
true.
know
what works for
what
them.
works. So
That's good to hear.
yeah.
Now, what about the trial? So the brides always get a trial or usually do?
I like them to be mandatory.
Yeah, I agree.
And the only time that it's never happened is when I've had people in the salon show up and say, "It's my wedding day,"
Whoa.
which has happened quite a few times. But
Yeah.
no, I always get to do a trial. Number one, because it allows me to touch their hair beforehand and
Yes.
see what's going to work for them and what's not going to work.
Good point.
But it's also a chance for me to see what their personality is like, what their style is like,
Yep.
what they're looking for their wedding.
Yep.
And then I can get into like the nitty gritty of like, okay, timing, how many bridesmaids,
Right.
what's our start time, what's our end time, all those types of things that you want to think about beforehand and in person versus over email,
phone,
or
whatever
yeah.
it may be. Yeah, that really helps. So bridal trials are encouraged
Yes.
majorly. And I
Yes.
think a lot of brides will do that. They feel more comfortable knowing, okay, we tried that, let's try something else.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I'll do one or two different styles on somebody on their actual trial day if
Oh,
they want
really?
it. Yeah, like it's not you have one look that you're looking
You're
for.
trying.
Yeah, you can for sure do a couple if you're unsure of what's gonna look good.
Interesting.
And I've had people do their trial and then want something different for the day of the wedding, and it's fine as long as I know what their hair is like. I've done it before.
Exactly.
It's
Or as long
easy
as you
for
know
me.
what they don't want then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like example, my bride yesterday, that was a different hairstyle than what
Than
it was in the trial.
Right.
And
'Cause
it turned out like way better
it
than
was
I had
beautiful.
ever expected it to be.
Right. And another point, our bride yesterday, the trial that she did, it was actually for her shower,
Yes.
right? So I think that's really smart when brides do that. Like, you're doing their hair. It's so beautiful. It kind of sucks to like go home and wash your hair.
Yeah.
So go out for a date, go to your bridal shower, engagement photos. Like I always encourage to plan their trial on the days that I'm photographing them because you know it'll look beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and that was great because then she could look back then on images and say, yeah, I loved this, but it's not going to work for the wedding day.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And that's nice. Does that ever, again, we'll go back to stress or give you like a panic when someone says, I want to do something totally different? Do you worry or are you just like, no, okay.
No, yeah.
Because you know their hair then.
Yeah, I know their hair. I know it's going to work. It's only the ones that stress me out are ones that want more than one trial. I've had a bride of mine a couple years ago who was a bit indecisive and that
That's
is more
tough.
of a stress than anything else. But
And it's more so coming off of, I like them all. I don't know what to choose.
yes, and I think for her case, this was really unique, but she had a lot of input from other people, and I think
Okay.
that was kind of confusing her.
Swaying her either way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so stick to one trial. Is what
Yeah,
is the goal here.
better to do one trial and not.
And do, like you said,
3.
I like knowing that you are open to doing like 2. If someone's like, I just don't know,
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah.
Take some photos. Think of what your dress looks like.
Yeah.
Do you always ask that? Like, what does your dress look like? 'Cause-
Always.
Yeah, because you know.
Dress, accessories,
Oh, yes.
veil,
So much to think about.
jewelry, any
Yeah,
of
because
those
if they've
things.
got giant earrings, you don't want to cover both ears or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even ask things like their makeup, like, are they going to do something that's a bit more bold? Well, we don't want to do
Right.
anything that's super soft and relaxed.
Right.
And then have 2 different
Yep.
themes going on it.
Yeah, that was actually a good point when I did my trial, because I even did a trial with Steff and JC. We were lucky enough to do it on the same day because I just wanted to see what it looked like together, and I loved hanging out with these gals.
Cute.
So you made a really good point of, okay, so JC's going to do like a little bit of a darker look for myself. So you wanted to make sure my hair wasn't like soft curls. It was like really defined curls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, it all depends. It's nice to know what the other is doing.
Yeah.
Other as in makeup.
Yes.
Or accessories or wedding dress or whatever it may be.
Yes.
Are you ever shocked? Like, has anybody ever said, oh, I have this dress, and then they come with like something totally different, and you're like, oh, that, I don't know if that works, but then it does.
No. Usually by the time that I talk to brides, I've had brides talk to me a year in advance, but majority of the time they're usually about 4 months.
4 to 6 months?
4
months.
Yeah, even like
Sometimes
6 months.
Yeah.
Year is unusual, but 4
Yeah.
to 6. Yeah,
That's
that seems about right, because I'll do their trial about 2 months before. I don't generally do it a lot earlier than that because their hair can change.
So drastically. Like, my hair will grow in 2 months, no problem.
Yeah. Lots
So
of hair
much.
growth, or people like to do highlights or
Right.
coloring or anything like that.
Right,
So
like
usually
right before the wedding?
yeah, usually I try to do it so that it's timed right for that.
Smart.
But it makes it easier for me too if it's sooner, because if I do a trial, 6 to 8 months earlier, it's harder for me to remember.
Right, like all the little details, like all the little parts of their hair that you're like, oh yeah, it does that.
Yeah, and like I take pictures and I have a notebook that I write out
Right,
what
all
I've
the
done.
details. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
But
What tips do you have for any wedding hairstylists going into a wedding day?
ooh,
Maybe new wedding hairstylists.
I got a lot.
You do.
Yeah.
I love tips.
But I feel like that's my education background. That's probably
Agree.
Like,
Hey,
let me help you.
go into your tool belt. What are we calling it? Your hair tool belt. I feel like it would be like really beautiful and have like lace and little parts of hair on it.
Ew. That's frightening. All the past brides.
You get a strand from each. That's disgusting. No, maybe
So
it's
don't do
just
that.
like this little tool belt with all your little things. So tell us some tips. I don't know why I was talking about a hair tool belt there for so
I
long.
know. That was a long time talking about tool belt.
So tell us some
Okay.
tips for those hairstylists.
Okay, so number one.
I love that they're numbered.
Number one. I love it. Make sure that the area that you're working in
Yep.
has an outlet,
Brilliant.
has a table,
Okay.
has a chair that's the right height for you,
Okay.
a mirror available,
Okay.
any of those types of things. Make sure to bring an extension cord just in case. But those
Smart.
are things when I was first starting out in my career, I wouldn't ask people ahead of time about these locations. And I'd say, okay, I'm going to get there for 9. We'll start at, 9:05 just to, get the day going. And I'd walk in and there'd be no place to work, no outlets, no chairs available,
no tables,
literally nothing.
Yeah.
And that's happened quite a few times, and I've learned now to get them to have a prepared space, even if it's in a hotel room. Usually in a hotel room they'll bring up extra chairs
right,
for myself and a makeup artist,
right,
but they'll have to do that before I get there,
of course. Yeah,
otherwise
that's
it takes
such a good point.
precious time away.
Oh, totally. And
Right?
you're also walking in, you want to like feel it out, so you want to be like, hey everyone,
Yes.
I'm just gonna go and try and get prepared now, so that's tough.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I agree with you. It's very intimidating in the beginning to be like, can you have this ready for me? But no,
Not at all.
have a chair,
Yeah.
have a table.
Yeah.
What's it like? Is there outlets?
Yeah.
Because what if they say, oh damn, no, you
Yeah.
have to find you a room that has a close enough outlet for you.
Right? Yeah. And for me, I don't need anything that has like natural light or anything. That's definitely more of a makeup artist.
Yes.
But definitely something with good lighting.
Yes. Definitely important.
Next would be number 2.
Oh, yes.
Would be having a reminder for the bride, for all the bridesmaids, to come with clean, dry hair.
Okay. Clean, dry hair.
I have forgotten, including yesterday, to say that. So I had to blow dry people's hair
Oh,
because they had just showered.
right.
Which is fine because, in those types of situations, it was fast and
Yep.
there's only a
had-
few of them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've had it where I've walked in and there'd been a lineup of the bridesmaids waiting to shower.
Oh, no. And you have so much, like, hair drying takes so long.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, you're on this time crunch, so...
So add 10, 15 minutes sometimes to each person?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, really good point.
Yeah.
Because even as someone, I'd be like, okay, can I just go with wet hair? Like, it'll dry.
It'll dry.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't.
Oh, man. So, and clean, dry hair looks really great for photos, as like when I do candid photos before you're waiting to get your hair done. So I'm into that idea too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's starting to become a thing now, but there
Yeah.
was this thing beforehand where people said, "Oh, I need to have a little bit of oil in my hair so that the updos will stick," but I'm pretty sure that was just like a newspaper article from the past. There might have
Oh.
not been products that would have done the job like they do
Like I do
now.
now. Actually, that's such a good point. I actually thought of that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you
it was a
gotta-
known
you
thing
gotta
that you
leave
would
it.
you wouldn't be able to wash your hair
Huh.
before, but now
No, please do.
please do.
Yeah. It just helps you work quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, that was 2.
Number 2. Number 3, pricing.
Okay.
The day of the wedding is hectic.
Whew.
You have to ask for or in advance tell them to have money or e-transfers or whatever you're doing before the day begins,
Yes.
because I have not gotten paid for a wedding before because they e-transferred me after the wedding, a couple days after the wedding, and it bounced. And then she never got back to me. So those things happen.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm beyond shocked. Do you do any type of deposit?
So I don't do deposits, which in hindsight I probably should
could,
eventually do,
yeah.
but because I don't do as many weddings
Right.
because I'm busy at the salon,
Yep.
I didn't think it was that necessary, but
might
definitely in that case.
For that one person.
Yeah.
Damn. That's wild. So payment needs to be discussed and
And it's less stressful for the bridesmaids
Totally.
too. You know, if they have all their money and in an envelope, usually they'll put it all in the same
love
envelope and
that.
cross their names off.
Yep.
It just makes it a lot easier for them too,
Agreed.
because you're busy and you're like trying to get on your dress and get your lipstick on,
right?
And all
It's
this
those
stuff at the end of
last
the
like
day.
20-minute moments where it's like
Yeah.
I always hear, Did you pay the hairstylist? Did you pay Steff? Did you pay? And it's like, yeah, but hold on one second. I have to do whatever they need to do because there is a ton going on. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think for our day, I don't remember what we did. I told everyone how much it was, but I had envelopes for everyone I needed to pay.
Yes.
And I just was
they
like,
would give me the envelope
every time
they
started.
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
I think that it's just, man, it takes it off of our mind too, like the person
Totally.
going through it.
Totally.
So I think that's a really good point.
Yeah. So
Talk
that's
about it
that's an
beforehand,
easy.
and
What's that, number 3? So number 4.
Yeah.
Bring extras of everything.
Oh, wow.
So extra bobby pins, extra elastics, extra hairsprays. My hairspray, not this wedding, the last wedding, it literally just the nozzle stopped working, and it was the only lightweight hairspray I had. So I had to move on to another hairspray. Thank God I had one. But those things happen.
See, and you never know. Like,
No.
it doesn't necessarily mean you'll run out, but it means a nozzle could block up.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So always have extras of that stuff, but also have extras of stuff that you don't necessarily think that you need, but the bride would need. And if you're in a hotel room, you might not have. So like clear nail polish if there's like a tear in the dress, or regular scissors, not your like hair cutting scissors, because those, please don't do that to cut tags, but regular scissors,
right?
Anything like that. Needle and thread, anything.
Yeah, just those like little emergency things that you could carry in your bag. Yeah.
And it's easy, right?
Totally.
You have a toolkit for that.
A toolkit, like a belt, like a tool belt.
Not a belt.
Okay.
But a bag.
Okay.
I carry a bag.
Okay, number 5.
Okay, and then this is the last one.
5 tips.
5 tips. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna blast this everywhere. Steff Smith's 5 tips for doing hair on a wedding day.
Nice. The last one is everything relies on the weather for hair.
Ooh, such a good point.
Right? So even if I've done a trial with the bride and she wants her hair down, if it is pouring rain outside and she wants classic finger waves, you probably should readjust.
We've been there.
Yeah. Oh, so sad.
So sad, because it's so beautiful, and while you're doing it and while we're walking out to the car, it looks stunning.
Yes.
But it's later in the day that it's not, because the weather is going to affect your hair.
Yeah, even if you're indoors.
Yep.
You're outside.
There's humidity, there's
there's anything
that come through that really destroys it.
Yeah.
So what is your advice then for that? Do you say, okay, so we do know that it's going to be raining today. Like, I don't want to be that person, but if it rains, what are we thinking here?
That's exactly what happens.
You do.
Yep.
And a lot of times do they just say, no, stick with it?
I'd say it's about 50-50, but at least you've given them the option of it.
Yes, yeah. You have to be that person to give them that option.
Yeah, that finger wave one. I actually have had 2 finger wave ones where weather has been an issue, but the first one, I gave her the option of me coming back after the ceremony.
That's nice.
And fixing her hair.
Yeah.
So it was an additional cost, but at least I was able to go there and
you didn't
fix
have something else to do. Yeah.
Versus the other one that said, no, it's fine. And looking back on those photos, she probably should have got me to help out.
Yeah. I think it's so smart to have. I mean, I was lucky enough to have you at my wedding. Sure. So once my hair started to fall, just because I was sweating.
Dancing up a
storm. It was amazing. I just walked over to Steff, and it literally took you 2 seconds. You're like, do, and I had this really cute updo.
Yep.
And I was like, boom.
Yeah.
It's so awesome to have you there.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes if you do have a hairstyle that is a little bit trickier, pay the extra, have someone there who can touch it up, not like someone else who doesn't necessarily. I mean, of course, finger waves are tough.
Yes.
You can't have anybody do that. That's a very specific look.
Yeah.
So pay the extra. Why not?
Yeah, it's worth it in those types of scenarios.
I agree. Interesting. Okay, fabulous 5 tips.
Woo!
I loved those. You came so prepared.
I have a notebook.
Again, probably from your tool belt. Do you have a favorite wedding hairstyle story that you can share with us, or one of your favorites? There's probably so many.
Well, yours.
Oh, you nailed it.
But that one was fun because I was a part of it as well.
And you looked hella beautiful as well.
Oh, thanks.
You didn't do your own hair that day.
No, I had a additional stylist come in.
Veronica did come in,
Yeah.
which was so helpful. Your hair looked amazing.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Which maybe helped. You were just like feeling so good.
I was like, dang.
Yeah. You did everyone's hair that day was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really
It
nice.
was really, really nice.
So that was a top story, but more so from a personal level than anything else. But one of my favorite weddings was one that I did in Orangeville. So it was actually quite a distance to go.
Whoa, yeah.
And that wedding party was probably the most fun I've ever had. They were playing games. They were playing Heads Up like constantly. It was so fun. And at the end of it, the bride had said, you know what, Steff, I love you. I need you to go get a dress and come back here and come to the wedding.
Stop.
So I did. So I drove home, got a dress, and came back. And it was the most fun.
I didn't know about this. Yeah. That is the cutest couple I've ever heard.
Yeah. And like I still talk to all of those girls because it was so fun. It was such a fun experience.
So are they all out from that way, or do you see any of them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them as much anymore just because they are in that area, but you know, always like social media, you still feel connected to people. But that was a unique
That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
And I love that with weddings, you never really know what's going to happen. Like,
no.
For you to be invited to the wedding as a guest is incredible.
Right.
Is that where they did the photo booth and there's really cute pictures of you?
No.
Oh.
But that one, it was equally fun.
That was really cute.
That was my friend Darlene's wedding.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was really cute. So this must have been a while ago. I don't remember this story, but it's a goodie.
Yeah, this was... Oh, I don't even remember how long ago this was.
That's so fun.
4 years ago, maybe?
Wow. What a sweet idea, too.
Yeah.
So you drove all the way back home to Burlington and then drove back to Orangeville?
I think Toronto? I was in Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easier. How sweet.
Yeah.
I know, and actually yesterday, our bride gave us a really sweet bottle of Prosecco.
So cute.
Sweetest, and a little card.
Yeah.
That's so kind. Like, we are never expecting. Like,
never.
You're paying for our services. We are happy to be there, honestly, right? And to get a little gift, it's like, what?
I know, it's so cute.
So nice.
Although, you know what I love even more than a gift itself is a handwritten note or a thank you card.
Yes.
I keep all of my thank you cards and notes, and I have them up. Right now I don't because I just moved,
yes. But you always have kept them up.
Yeah, always. It's like a great reminder, and usually the thank you notes will have like a little picture that some like the wedding photographer has done. So it's nice to like remember what their hair was like, or
and then read
the thank you.
I do love getting little thank you cards.
Right?
Oh, just like kills me. I know, so sweet.
I know.
So okay, along with wedding hair styling that you do and offer and are amazing at, what else do you offer, and where do you offer these things?
Well,
cue story.
Cue
Aveda.
So I work at Kiora Aveda Salon, which is in downtown Burlington. It's right across from Spencer Smith Park. So it's a great location, but I do everything there. So cutting and coloring and
balayage,
all those fun things. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a blonde specialist than any of the other people. I feel like that's written on my...
I'm brunette, and you did a great job.
That's true.
So you're
represent. And I guess I do all.
You do everything, yeah. But I mean, maybe you thrive with the blondes.
Yeah, I feel like it's you
love the toning and the highlighting.
And maybe because I'm a blondie.
Probably.
Probs.
Yeah, so check her out, definitely. She's done do a ton of stuff there.
I do a ton. Yeah. If you want to take a look at my stuff, you can look at my Instagram. So that's at Styles by Steff. With 2 F's.
Yes, Steff. No PH here.
No PH here. Yeah. But the website for Kiora is on there. You can also just go on www.kiora.com, and it'll show you our salon and our prices, and you can book online, which is kind of cool.
Very handy. I love booking online, actually.
It's real convenient.
Yes. And you like having, like we were saying, the mix of salon and the weddings.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could ever give up one. I originally wanted to just do weddings, but I felt like I would miss out on all my other stuff, and doing the cutting and coloring is also pretty useful for weddings as well,
I
because
bet.
I have a lot of brides that now come to me for cuts and colors.
Which is so nice,
Which
because
is
then you get
nice.
to continue on this like really nice friendship.
Yeah, whereas with weddings, it's like one and done, right?
and
So it's
done.
nice to be able to,
Yeah,
hang out with these guys
Yeah.
afterwards.
that's really special.
Because you do share a unique experience with them. It's nice to
Totally.
see them again and
Yeah.
remember that memory.
and talk about their day or see how their
yeah,
marriage is, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, that's
It's cute.
nice. Okay, so we will check her out. So let's chat about just like weddings in general. What is your favorite part? Nope. That's not the question.
I was like, ooh,
What
going
is-
off
yeah,
script
yeah.
here.
What is the best? Nope.
No?
Right. What's the best part of being part of a wedding story? So, what's the best part of being part of a wedding story for you as the hairstylist?
Oh, this was more just having that forever memory.
Yeah.
Not to boost my own
No, totally.
horn there, but
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that there's going to be permanent memories
Yeah.
of this experience, and the wedding photos for sure you can look back on and remember as I choked
You're
to
getting
death.
choked up.
I choked up. Remember what that whole experience was like. So I like
Yeah.
being part of that, and knowing that when they look at those photos, they think back to how their morning was, and hopefully how stress-free it was.
Yes.
And all those
And how
things.
much they loved their hair and
Yeah.
the compliments that they receive. Yeah. That's nice. No, I think that's what it's supposed to be, like a personal memory.
Yeah.
Like for you and for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're also growing such a like, I want to say fan base, but like you're growing this community of like people you've done hair for.
Yeah.
So now when you think back, or when people ask you questions, you can be like, oh yeah, or we speak of finger waves and you think of those beautiful brides that did finger waves. Like that's really cool
Yeah.
to
No,
kind
no.
of have that memory.
It's true.
Yeah. And what about, no, I don't know why I'm like a robot. What keeps you creative? What keeps you growing within the hair world?
Well, definitely you guys working with
That's
a
nice.
team. I think it always kind of pushes you to get better, because
Yeah.
you see others, working on themselves, and yeah, it's just inspiring in that sense.
That's really nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it is nice to have this kind of back and forth with a team to be like, or see something you've posted and be like, oh, that's really cool. I want to do something with that, or I have an idea. I'm gonna reach out to Steff because she will be able to knock this out of the park.
Right?
So that's kinda cool.
It's cool in that sense. And then the other thing is, I mean, hair is on my mind literally every single day.
Yeah, at all times of the day.
All times of the day.
Yeah.
But also like even Instagram, like all my Instagrams are wedding related.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly seeing these Instagram videos of updos, and I'm getting inspired by, oh, that one looks really cool. I need to
wanna
try that.
That's so cool.
So it's always on my mind. And then I think that helps you grow, just constantly learning.
And thinking and practicing
thinking.
and yeah. You're like kind of like dreaming about it.
Yeah.
You know, like all day you're just kind of like, oh, let me try.
Like even this morning, I was looking at videos of updos.
You've always been like that.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we did live together, we had these like 2 desks and we sat back to back.
So
the
cute.
cutest little like office nook, and you always watched hair videos, and I thought that was so cool that you were just like really the passion came through always from your side of things. I always saw you like, oh, that's cool, I want to try this, or you'd say like, can we do something like blah, because I saw this video and I want to try it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was always really cool. You're always
fun.
like being inspired by it.
Yeah.
So that keeps you growing. That's nice. The team and social media. I was gonna say, make a point about that. We talk a lot about social.
Blah, blah, blah.
We talk a lot about social media on this podcast, and it's really awesome to hear all the positives that people have to say about social media, because it can be such a negative influence
True.
on so many different levels of your business, your personal life. But to hear that it really does inspire you is really nice to hear.
Yeah.
That you can, I mean, it's pretty cool. We can go on our phones and just like be inspired within 15 minutes, put it back down, and then continue to dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
You know what's really weird? I was just thinking this. When we started, there really wasn't Instagram.
No. You're right. You watched YouTube videos.
I watched YouTube videos.
A lot, yeah. Maybe that's what you would watch. I don't remember. Yeah. Pinterest? Was there Pinterest around back then?
Yeah, there's Pinterest. Yep, for sure. Because I remember doing boards.
Yeah. Yeah, probably more so Pinterest and YouTube.
Yeah, and a lot of word of mouth for brides because we didn't have social media at the time. Right. Now, I don't really have to do much in terms of advertisement because for me, they just see my work on Styles by Steff, and it just is like a constant flow of brides. But before that,
like, you'd have to have your own website.
Yeah. I remember I made business cards.
Yes, I do remember that.
She's just raising her eyebrows.
Excitement. Yeah, that was so cool. Because we had to.
Yeah.
Now business cards aren't really a thing. They're like, oh, what? I'll just follow you.
Yeah. Right? Or your business card is literally just like your handle.
Yeah, totally. Just in big font.
Yeah.
Just follow me.
Just follow me.
Yeah.
This is recyclable
But it
paper.
is cool that you can go on, like a bride would go on and be like, okay, yeah, I know she knows how to do this, or I see she does this. Fantastic. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It's cool.
Who needs a website? Just kidding. I love websites.
Just kidding. Go to her website.
But definitely, like, it is cool that people can just go on, see what your work's like, have one referral, or say, oh, I loved Jessica's hair at her wedding.
Yeah, done.
That's all I need to see.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Mm-hmm. What about your predictions for 2020? I asked a lot of people their wedding predictions for 2020. Pertaining to hair.
Yeah.
Okay. You're like,
what's the future going to hold in 2020? I think that people are veering more and more towards relaxed looks and relaxed weddings. I feel like there is always going to be that classic low bun style.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's going away anytime soon, but I feel like of the bold and the relaxed, people are going to veer more towards the relaxed. I still feel like that boho sort of look is still strong. I do think the floral crowns are out.
Agreed.
Right? That was a huge trend before, but I think people are slowly veering away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are maybe going more towards maybe more veils. What do you find in terms of veils?
I feel like I've done a lot of people's hair with veils. If
or accessories.
Yeah, or accessories. I feel like even like Meghan Markle's hair, that's gonna continue to be a thing. Like, she had such a long veil. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but
it was huge,
gorgeous, and she had a really simple low bun.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that those things, simple, relaxed. People are still veering away from extensions. I feel like that's not even a thing that's...
I don't think so either. Yeah. What was it? Maybe 10 years ago? Every bride would get extensions.
I was like, working hard with all those extensions. But now it's really rare. Unless somebody has like really fine hair and they want
they just need more.
Yeah. But even then...
But without, do you find it just looks more relaxed? Maybe? Without the extensions?
Yeah.
I think so too. I love it. The more relaxed kind of simple. Everyone keeps saying that on here. Everyone's saying like simple, elegant, classy.
Yeah. All of those.
All of those things. It's coming back, which is really nice to see. I love that.
I know. And
you can still do it like simple can also be like elevated. Like a low bun can still, like a simple small moment can still be really
it's true.
Classy.
And when I talk about relaxed too, I don't mean like messy hair by any means. It just means like really soft looking. So again, it could still look elegant and classic because of that. You know? Yeah,
for sure it will. Yeah. I still think like clean will always be. People want to make sure like it looks perfect, right?
Yeah, they don't like the frizzies.
The frizzies. Get that frizz out of here.
Out of
here. But they love like a nice classic look. I like that prediction.
It's a good one.
I like it.
We'll see.
We'll have you on next year and you can be like, Okay, so out of this, get out of here, classy.
Yeah.
Give us something different. Do you like doing different things, though, Sue, sometimes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like a nice fun challenge or just something that's different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, this is an unusual one because I actually don't think a lot of people like doing this, but I love working with really long hair and hiding it.
Ooh.
You don't actually need long hair, by the way, for updos, just as a heads up.
True.
It has to be like
To your shoulder?
at your shoulder. Like that's probably okay. So
Interesting.
the fact that people need to like grow their hair out, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to do that. But for people that have like long hair that want it up, I'm like, okay,
You
challenge
love it.
accepted.
That's
'Cause
so
it's
cool.
hard.
It's very hard to get it all up there, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
weighing you down. There's so much hair back there, but it looks so
But,
beautiful when
yeah.
it's up.
Yeah, it's true.
And people are always like, whoa, your hair looks so great, because they usually see it down.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, we are going to come check you out at Kiora, and we're going to let all our brides know to check you out on Instagram at Styles by Steff, Steff with 2 Fs.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yay!
Thanks, Steff.
Thanks for having me.
This was so fun.
This was so fun.
I've just felt like I was chatting with you, hence why I made so many weird comments about hair tool belts. So I apologize.
I'm sure everybody enjoyed that.
Okay, good. Well, thank you again,
No problem.
and best of luck for the rest of this season.